Hey everyone, my name is Noah Pred. You may know me from my techno and house productions on labels such as Thoughtless, High Grade, Trapez Limited, etc. Or you may be familiar with my work teaching Ableton Live tutorials with macro video. And I'm here today to talk to you about Push, which is an amazing new instrument from Ableton Live, and it's also their first foray into the world of hardware. So I'd like to begin just by giving you a quick little tour of the basic areas of the unit. And obviously featured quite prominently in the center of the device are our 64 velocity and aftertouch sensitive pads, which we will be working with quite a lot today. And there are two basic modes for working with them. If you've worked with the APC40 or a Launchpad or a similar device, you may be familiar with the session view functionality, which can't really see much here because we're starting with a completely blank, fresh set today. We're starting from scratch. But once we get some clips in the set, they'll show up here color-coded according to the color of the clips in Ableton, which is pretty cool. However, if we want to actually write music, which we'll be doing a lot of today, because as I said, the Push is an instrument, we're going to switch into notes mode with this note button here. So these are the two different primary modes of the unit. Now along the top we have 8 touch-sensitive macro dials and a display here that are going to show us what the knobs are corresponding to in the software. And we have these buttons here which are going to control the different modes that the knobs can be in to control different aspects of the software. So we'll look at that in a practical context later on. These here are primarily note editing buttons here, and we'll look at the different uses of those later on in the tutorial as well. Here we have our basic mode switching and device adding buttons where we can add effects and add tracks to our set without ever even going to the computer. You can add as many tracks as you like directly from the unit. And our select and shift modifier keys. These are going to navigate the session view once we have more than 8 scenes or 8 tracks to navigate between. Along here we have our scene launch buttons, or in note mode, these are going to be our quantization buttons. And along the top we have our device selection buttons, and then these below can function as stop, mute, or solo buttons, depending on which mode we've selected with these 3 here. And we're going to look at the different functionality of these top 2 rows of 8 buttons throughout the tutorial. They serve a lot of different purposes and contribute greatly to the flexibility of this unit. On the left-hand side, we have a ribbon controller, which is a lot of fun when we're working with notes. It's going to control the pitch bend. Here we have our basic record and editing buttons, global BPM, swing amount, our metronome, and our tap tempo. And we're going to start this tutorial by looking at how to make beats with Push, and we're going to be doing that next.